What's going on, man? We bite. Your host, most of great Day Late Dollar Short News, live and direct, where we ride for respect, man. Smash the like, the share, the subscribe. You know what to do. Hit that notification bell, stay true. Today, we have a young lady who was a former stripper. And the reason why I'm giving y'all this little brief synopsis of what's going on is because when I clipped it, my silly self left out that part. So I have to break down what she's talking about. But, you know, you get the drift, man. And what she's saying is that throughout the duration of her time in the industry being a stripper, that she witnessed that men hate their wives. Men specifically go after women they hate to marry. Y'all check it out.
Were married men. And I would probably say 95% of those married men, the first lead opening conversation that they would have when I was a stripper was that they fully admitted that they hated their wives. They fully admitted that they could not stand their wives. They fully admitted that they hated coming home to their wives. They hated spending time with their children. And they just hated the whole idea of like being a family, being committed to a woman, having to spend time with their children, having to be obligated to do parental things, to do adult things. And of course, you know, not only would they tell us this because like they were venting, but men often lose sight of assimilating to an environment that they're in. And so they would always forget that they're in a strip club and that we're there to take money from them. Like, we're not going to give you a sympathy dance because you hate your wife. Like, we're not going to sell you a room for 50% off because you're complaining about how you hate your wife. They're used to the regular world where, you know, most women will accept sympathy as a form of payment in order to do things for men because they feel bad for them. At the strip club, we're not doing that shit. We only talking green. We only talking dollars at the strip club. So I would notice that, and so I would always ask them, like, if you hate your wife, why did you marry her? And in short, that's the reason why they married her. Men don't marry the women that they love. They actually marry the woman that they hate because it's psychological. Whenever you want to earn someone's favor, it's usually because the person is not reciprocating anything back. That's why you feel the need to earn it, right? Because if someone hates you, but then you like that person, it's going to make you work harder for their favor. It's going to make you work harder for their love. Men don't want to be with women that they like, because they understand that the more that they like a woman, the more that they will do for a woman. And the whole purpose of marriage to men and what they exposed to me in the strip club is that they get married out of convenience to be able to get a bargain. They marry the woman who they get their bargain from. So he will marry someone that he hates because she's always going to want to cook. She's always going to want to clean. She's always going to want to make sacrifices in order to get him to love her and to like her. And so that's the reason why they end up marrying a woman that they can't stand. And so to kind of take the brunt of dealing with the woman that they hate, they will come to the strip club. They will get on OF. They will follow IG baddies. They will, you know, watch corn, because essentially they need something to offset the, you know, brunt that they're taking daily of having to see a woman that they hate every day.
So that was her take on it. During her time, her duration in a strip club, dealing with married men. She said that they failed to assimilate once they got into a different environment, and I guess they thought they was gonna get a sympathy lap dance, or some sympathy coochie, but it didn't pan out the way they thought that it was gonna pan out. I think that she was dealing with some broke boys. I think that she was dealing with they could have been capping. It could have been some cap in their rap. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a strip club type of dude, but the dudes that I do know that go to the strip club, even the married ones, when they do come up off in there, man, they coming to spend some bread, man. They not playing around, you know what I'm saying? They finna hit that ATM machine, man. They finna get some ones. They gonna make it rain. You dig what I'm saying? As far as men hating their wives on purpose, husbands hating their wives on purpose, I don't know what the validity of that is. I believe that men go into marriage on some till death do us part type stuff. Like literally. I've been watching the news a lot lately, and I've done covered stories where men have literally taken a woman out the game when they tried to leave. You know, if men went into marriage hating their wives, why would it be 80% of the women filing for divorce? Let that sink in. Why isn't it men, 80% of the people in the relationship filing for a divorce as opposed to women? A man will stay in a relationship in the mud. When he's not happy, he will stay there. As long as they have some kids bonding them together, and even if they don't have kids that's bonding it together, he'll thug it out. He'll stick it through. Because I think that men go into marriage taking it more serious than women. And that's just my personal opinion, you know. A woman will get tired. She will get bored, you know, because all of her thoughts are rooted in emotions, and all of her movements are rooted in how she feels. If she feel like this relationship is over, then she'll end it. You know, a man can feel that and been feeling that since day one. And 10 years later, he'll still be sitting there wallowing in his own self-pity, suffering in silence. And another thing that she said was that they didn't, you know, that when men were at home, they just didn't like that environment that they were in, and that they wanted to escape. Yeah, that's true. For the most part, that is true. But when a man comes in to spend money, he really just wants to vent. You know, he's paying for your attention. You know, it's something that he ain't getting at home. He not really tripping off of taking you home, or a happy ending, or getting a free lap dance, or giving you a pity party. He really just want to talk to you. He really just want to chop it up with you, because he's not getting that at home. He's trying to vent. He need to get his ish off. You dig what I'm saying? And you wouldn't know that, of course, if you didn't pay attention, because most men that go to especially if you married, you know, if you married and you go into a strip club, and it's just my humble opinion, you know, if you're a frequent flyer at the strip club and you got a wife at home, you know, it's some trouble in the waters at the house, man. There's some troubles in the water at the crib, man. Every situation is different, but you know, you spending your hard-earned money, you know, because people it's hard times right now. You know what I'm saying? People spending their hard-earned money on strippers, and you got a wife at home, you know. Maybe the thrill is gone in the bedroom. You know, everything got an expiration date, man. You know what I'm saying? Even we do, you know. So of course, relationships fizzle out. They fan out. You know, they tank. But to be going to the strip club every day, or every other day, or you're a frequent flyer, like I stated earlier, is bonkers. You know. But a man is definitely not going into marriage just on purpose, marrying a woman that he hates. That's untrue. I don't believe that. I don't know what men you've been talking to. I'm not trying to call you a liar, but that's not true for the most part, man. I know some married men, you know, and they sticking it through, man. You know, they'll stay there forever. They'll never file a divorce. The men I know that are married to the women that they love, they're not getting no divorce. It'll be the woman. They on some till death do us part type stuff, man. But that was just my take on it, man. If you got a rebuttal to that, drop it in the comment section and let me know, man. Hey, Most, man, you tripping, man. It don't go like that, man. It's the man's fault. We out.